Hi everyone. It is me, Sailor Uranus, Sailor Skyworld Amara here, and today we're going to talk about something that I truly think should truly be, talked about. So, in the Sailor Moon followership, how there are some folks who, if you say you like the Deke Sailor Moon, or they will say, oh, you're not a true Sailor Moon follower. Now, keep in mind that there's only a belief here of those folks. So, the Deke Sailor Moon was not everyone's beloved Sailor Moon, I get it. But back in the day, it was the only Sailor Moon we had. We didn't have any other offshoots of it, So folks in the settled land and folks in the 4-1 Reichs, they might not even known what Sailor Moon was. And if someone says they did know what Sailor Moon was before that, well, great for them. So I don't know what they were thinking of, or what they thought was happening when they watched it. So right off the front, they got pissed off over the names being shifted from the Danish names to Hellenish and Hebrewish and Latinish and Frenchish and Spanish, and I would also say Farsius names and Blacklandish names. Names that English speakers would know of because English borrowed more names from those speeches. And that pissed them off. Oh, it didn't piss them off when they first watched it. It pissed them off years later. The next thing that seemed to piss them off nowadays is near names being shifted. They're like, how dare you shift the near names? And so that's something they get pissed off over. Something that angers them to this day is near names being shifted and street names being shifted. Then they also make a big deal or got pissed off over strike names being shifted, Like, well, these folks make a big deal over everything they do. And then something else that they would also, you would say, should or should not be making a big deal out of, but wasn't made a big deal of, was Zoisite becoming a woman. Now, nowadays, we all know that, that nowadays the mindset or the stand or the understanding of the unstraight folks and anyone who is unstraight is not where it was. All right? Where it is now, not where it was back then. So they got pissed off that Deke shifted Zoisite to a woman. And I think that they made a big deal out of that because I don't think anyone ever got irked over that or not. Not that I know of, but they got pissed off over that. And look, I guess the grounds to why Deke did it was that Deke was worried that someone might watch the show with their children and they might get pissed off or angered or irked that some unstraight self was on a show for children. You see, nowadays, having an unstraight self in a show, film, or play, is no big deal anymore. And hell, having an unstraight self in a show, film, or play for children, it's not a big deal anymore. The truth is that more folks, learn about unstraightness and there's understanding and there's trust and there's learning about what unstraightness is and what it means to be unstraight and what it, the truth behind it. Now, I don't know why they made a big deal about that. Now, here's something else they made a big deal about, too. The other big deal they may have made about was some of the sagas not being done in English. Now, I don't know why some of these weren't done in English. I have my belief, but they were irked or angered that Deke just skipped over some of the followings of Sailor Moon in the first following and skipped over 1 and the 2 following. And them being irked and angered over that, well, I don't know what to tell you. And then they got irked over some of the fighting being cut out. You know. And then they go out of their way to say that the Deke Sailor Moon is just unwatchable, and that if you watch it, you're not a true Sailor Moon follower. Now, first off, that is a belief. Now, the Deke Sailor Moon might not be for everyone. And everyone does have the right to get angered over names being shifted, near name and street names and strike names being shifted. You know, Zoisite becoming a woman, you know, and some of the fighting being skimmed out of it, or some sagas being cut out altogether. You know, but at the end of the day, I think that some of you folks made a big deal out of some things, you know, more than others. So, so at the end of the day, I truly think that a lot of folks just making a big deal out of, you know, out of this, though, about, you know, all the things that they didn't like about Deke Sailor Moon. And at the end of the day, you would also think that Pioneer, who was somehow, some way, wanted to meet that, you know, that Pioneer thought by being more near to Toei would make folks like it. Before I end this film, the folks that hated the Deke one hated the Pioneer one too. They hated it because the same borrow names were there. They hated it because Fisheye and Zirconia became women, so they bitched about those two things. They also bitched about driving on the right side of the street instead of the left side of the street, which was done both in Deke and Pioneer. And these were small things that they just bitched about. And also me and Michelle being near kin, which I don't know why Pioneer did that at all. But yeah, they bitched about all those things. And a lot of Sailor Moon followers out there, you know, they have the right, they got the right and freedom to what they believe and what they think and what they feel. And they're taking thought on it. But at the end of the day, the Deke Sailor Moon, the Pioneer Sailor Moon, were good. They might not have been for everyone. Not everyone's going to like it. I get that. I understand that. But I don't think the Deke Sailor Moon or Pioneer Sailor Moon is as bad as the folks in the Sailor Moon followership make it out to be. You know, when I've been watching the Deke Sailor Moon many times and the Pioneer Sailor Moon many times, and I'm always happy watching it, you know. And to me, that's Sailor Moon. Okay, yes, all right. Folks will ask me, what about the Viz one? Yes, I like the Viz one too. And yes, I watched the Viz one as well. And I like the Viz one too. But when I think of Sailor Moon, it's going to be the Deke one I think of more than I think of the Viz one. So, tell me what you think. Did you like the Deke Glee Sailor Moon or you hated it? Did you like the Pioneer Glee Sailor Moon or did you hated it? I'll see you all later. Bye.